to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the truck, like Trey said, is on top of the flagpole on every military institution, as well as any flagpole that has a round ball on the top. The round ball on top is called a truck. I want to read you an article which is very interesting here. So raise up the volume, check it out. Here we go. This was from worddetective.com. Truck, flagpole. Dear Word Detective, when, where, and how did the ball on top of a flagpole become known as a truck? That was from Larry Montrose of Colorado. Now, this is a deceptively simple, but actually very awesome question. At least it is for me. I had no idea that the doodad on top of the flagpole is called a truck. But here's the awesome part. I've been wondering for years what that thing is called. Of course, I couldn't have been wondering about it very hard. Otherwise, I would have tried and, looking it up. But I've been busy the past few years. Decades, in fact. Decades in which I resorted to referring to that thing at the top of the pole on several occasions as that thing. But now that you have answered my question, we can toddle along to answer yours. The word truck is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Looking back through my web archives, I see that I've answered questions involving the word truck at least 3 times in the past few years, and that's not even counting questions about turnip trucks and truck farming. But that prolixity is partly due to the fact that English actually has 2 separate trucks, unrelated in either history or meaning. The older truck, first appearing in the 13th century, is a verb meaning to exchange or barter, to sell for profit. Somewhat less often, it is also used as a noun meaning dealings, bargaining, communications. A sense found today almost always in the phrase to have no truck with, meaning to refuse to associate with or tolerate. She would have, this is a quote here, she would have no truck with so-called midwives who practice spells and incantations. That was just an example. This truck comes from the medieval Latin trocar, meaning to barter. In the 18th century, U.S. truck as a noun developed a more specialized and slightly odd meaning of produce grown for the market, which is used today almost exclusively in the term truck farm, meaning the small farm that sells its produce directly to the public. The other sort of truck, which appeared early in the 17th century, originally meant small wheel from the Greek trokos, which is wheel, and was originally applied to the small wooden wheels of gun carriages aboard ships. This truck blossomed over the centuries to mean any sort of wheeled cart used to carry heavy cargo, and eventually a motor vehicle used to carry freight. Voila, pickup trucks.
They also use it to refer to the structure that holds the wheels on a skateboard. Those are called trucks.
Trucks, okay. But early on in its history, when truck still meant small wooden wheel, it developed the specialized meaning of a small wooden cap or ball at the head of a mast or flagpole, usually with holes through it which lines supporting sails or flags could be passed. The use of truck in this sense, which dates back to around 1626, undoubtedly came from the resemblance of the gizmo to a small wooden wheel. Incidentally, I said there were 2 trucks in English, which is true, but there once was another truck, now considered obsolete and rarely seen today, that bears mentioning. It's truck, meaning to trudge or tramp along, from the Italian truccare, meaning to trudge. If you ever heard the late 1960s motto, keep on truckin', popularized by R. Crumb's Mr. Natural cartoons, you've met this truck. So there you have it. The truck is on top of it. But now, the other thing about the trucks, too, we'll talk about this in a little bit, it used to have an eagle on top. But what happened in high winds, the flag would get caught on the eagle, would cause problems. So they put the truck on there, so when the flag blows in a weird direction, it'll just fall off the round ball truck up there. It also helps with the rain. Some of the poles were hollow, and it allowed the rain to get outside instead of going down into the pole, rusting the pole. Okay, so that's the word truck. Now, I also looked up flag etiquette, because we all know flag etiquette's important with all the special events going on, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day, all the other things that you always see a flag on. So I wanted to talk about flag etiquette, and I remember in the military we'd have some, you go in front of the board and they'd ask you all these questions, you got to know all these trivia things, and some of these come up about flags. So I went to usflag.org, was it? Flag etiquette, standards of respect. So we're going to go over it. Pay attention, listen to it, and hopefully if we've got some bad habits out there, we can correct them after listening to this flag etiquette article. The flag code, which formalizes and unifies the traditional ways in which we give respect to the flag, also contains specific instructions on how the flag is not to be used. They are: the flag should never be dipped to any person or thing. It's flown upside down only as a distress signal. The flag should not be used as a drapery or for covering a speaker's desk, draping a platform, or for any decoration in general. Bunting of blue, white, and red stripes is available for these purposes. Now here's something you always wonder, hey, which way's up, blue or red? The blue stripe of the bunting should be on the top. If you think about it, your flag, the blue Union Jack, the field of blue, is up to the left-hand corner, upper left-hand corner. The flag should never be used for any advertising purposes. It should not, and now you see that all the time, advertising purposes. It should not be embroidered, printed, or otherwise impressed on such articles as cushions, handkerchiefs, napkins, boxes, or anything intended to be discarded after temporary use. Advertising signs should not be attached to the staff or holier. Now let's be clear. You'll have stars and stripes, but it's just a long thing of stars and stripes as compared to actually representing the flag, the actual flag shape. The flag should not be used as part of a costume or athletic uniform unless you're Rocky and get to wear those shorts.
But even then, those are just, again,
that's right,
just a star and stripe pattern, not necessarily a flag.
That's correct. Except that a flag patch may be used on a uniform or military personnel, firemen, policemen, or members of patriotic organizations. The flag should never have placed on it. The flag should never have placed on it or attached to it any mark, insignia, letter, word, number, figure, or drawing of any kind. The flag should never be used as a receptacle for receiving, holding, carrying, or delivering anything. When the flag is lowered, no part of it should touch the ground or any other object. It should be received by waiting hands and arms. To store the flag, it should be folded neatly and ceremoniously. I'm not sure if it's going to say it here in this article, but the flag is folded 13 times, and each fold has a meaning to it. The flag should be cleaned and mended when necessary. When a flag is so worn it is no longer fit to serve as a symbol of our country, it should be destroyed by burning it in a dignified manner, not at a rally to get a point across. Let's see, here's a note. Most American Legion posts regularly conduct a dignified flag burning ceremony, often on Flag Day, June 14th. Many Cub Scout packs, Boy Scout troops, which are now Scouts. Don't get me started on that one. Now, can I say Girl Scout troops, or should I say Scout troops for that?
Who cares?
Troops retire flags regularly as well. Contact your local American Legion Hall or Scout troop to inquire about the availability of this service. Now, displaying the flag outdoors. When the flag is displayed from the staff projecting from a window, balcony, or building, the Union, the blue part, should be at the peak of the staff unless the flag is at half staff. When it's displayed from the same flagpole with another flag of state, community, society, or scout unit, the flag of the United States must always be at the top, except that the church pennant may be flown above the flag during church services for Navy personnel when conducted by a naval chaplain on a ship at sea. When the flag is displayed over a street, it should be hung vertically with the Union to the north or east. If the flag is suspended over a sidewalk, the flag's union should be the furthest from the building. When flown with flags of states, communities, or societies on separate flag poles which are the same height and in a straight line, the flag of the United States is always placed in position of honor to its own right. The other flags may be smaller, but none may be larger. No other flag should ever be placed above it. The flag of the United States is always the first flag raised and the last one to be lowered. When flown with the national banner of other countries, each flag must be displayed from a separate pole of the same height. Each flag should be the same size. They should be raised and lowered simultaneously. The flag of one nation may not be displayed above that of another nation. Raising and lowering the flag. The flag should be raised briskly and lowered slowly and ceremoniously. Ordinarily, it should be displayed only between sunrise and sunset. It should be illuminated if displayed at night. The flag of the United States is saluted as it's hoisted and lowered. The salute is held until the flag is unsnapped from the halyard or through the last note of music, whichever is the longest. Okay, now we're talking about displaying the flag indoors. You've seen them in churches and other public places here. When on display, the flag is accorded to the place of honor, always positioned to its own right. Place it to the right of the speaker or staging area or sanctuary. Other flags should be to the left. The flag of the United States of America should be at the center and at the highest point of the group when a number of flags of states, localities, or societies are grouped for display. When one flag is used with the flag of the United States of America and the staffs are crossed, the flag of the United States is placed on its own right with its staff in front of the other flag. When displaying the flag against a wall, vertically or horizontally, the flag's union stars should be at the top to the flag's own right and to the observer's left. Parading and saluting the flag. When carried in a procession, the flag should be to the right of the marchers. When other flags are carried, the flag of the United States may be centered in front of others or carried to their right. When the flag passes in a procession or when it's hoisted or lowered, all should face the flag and salute. The salute. To salute, all persons come to attention. Those in uniform give the appropriate formal salute. Citizens not in uniform salute by placing their right hand over their heart, and men with head cover should remove it and hold it to their left shoulder, hand over the heart. Members of organizations in formation salute upon command of the person in charge. The Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. The Pledge of Allegiance should be rendered by standing at attention, facing the flag and saluting. When the National Anthem is played or sung, citizens should stand, not kneel. I put that part in. At attention and salute at the first note and hold the salute through the last note. The salute is directed to the flag, if displayed, otherwise to the music. And finally here, the flag in mourning. To place the flag at half staff, hoist it to the peak for an instant and lower it into a position of halfway between the top and the bottom of the staff. A lot of people just raise it to half mast. You have to go all the way to the top mast for a second and then lower it back down to half mast. The flag is to be raised again to the peak for a moment before it is lowered. On Memorial Day, the flag is displayed at half staff until noon and at full staff from noon to sunset. The flag is to be flown at half staff in mourning for designated principal government leaders and upon presidential or gubernatorial order. When used to cover a casket, the flag should be placed with the union at the head and over the left shoulder. It should not be lowered into the grave. So I saw that, a lot of great information. There's a lot of trivia to go with it too, and you can check that out. But this is some good stuff to know. And this is the stuff that you need to learn when you're growing up. This is where you get your patriotism from. You get it from your family. You get it from good upbringing. You get it from schools teaching it to you. You get it from people on the street. You get it from military personnel. You get it from your friends, your neighbors who have patriotism in their heart. Okay? The flag is a piece of cloth, but it represents how we believe this country believes. If you don't like this country, get the hell out. Okay?